Hey everybody, I am Psychic Silver, and this is On My Mind. The title is clear. I'm gonna have a little, a couple notes so I don't miss anything. This is something I do have a little bit of idea of where my rant is going to go. That way, I'm not just sounding crazy. And yes, I'm wearing a button-up shirt, but that's because I never get to wear it. And so, why not do it in a video? And as always, I have music so I can think better. This will be, at least how it's gonna start sounding, is how high school and middle school is with dating. Okay? This is what everyone tends to get wrong. This goes a little bit off of confusion. You know, that last episode on My Mind was about. Was it the last one? The confusion on love. This one kind of goes from that, and kind of came in recently again. So let's get started. Everybody in high school tends to just date for the sake of dating, and I went over this before. Dating is the purpose of marriage. Like, to see if you really want to spend your entire life with them, kind of thing. If you straight up asked any high schooler, middle schooler, heck, some even adults, you could literally straight up just ask, what is the meaning of love? And they would have no idea how to answer. And if they do know that it's intended for marriage, they don't actually use it that way, especially in middle school, high school. So some adults, they won't admit it, but they don't really use it the way it should be. It's a tool to see if you should be with that person in the first place. The entire thing has been skewed over decades, and it's only recently been. When I mean recent, I mean like near where I was born up until now. So almost 2 decades. Is the fact of the matter is dating has been a whole new thing with people nowadays, which sucks because that's why so many failed relationships are happening. That's why everyone is always complaining that they're not loved or that they'll die alone. And it's like, you can't take what's a good analogy? I'm thinking of a tool. You can't take a flathead screwdriver and no, let's reverse that. Sorry, you can't use a Phillips screwdriver, which is like the X one, and use it on a flathead screw. Like, you'll ruin the screw. You can't. Well, that was a terrible description or analogy, but that's kind of what you should be picturing right now. Is if you don't use the tool properly, it's not going to work at all. Sorry guys for that pause. I said it'd be uncut, but I had to go push a car, and there's noise behind me, and I tried waiting for it, but it's possibly not going to go away. So, I can't, I don't know where it was, honestly. So, I'm just going to take a minute to recap my thoughts. Just pause it, that's it. Okay, so, if I'm correct, I would last left off where it's been skewed and it's unfortunate, and how everybody has been using it incorrectly. The tool, it's been used wrong. So, in that regard, I don't think I used that properly. Anyways, moving on. So, when everyone's using it wrong, everyone gets the idea that dating is this new way of doing it. And so all these poor kids with this next generation are going to be screwed when it comes to their relationships. Either they see what their parents did wrong, because most likely they're divorced. That's a fact, by the way. You can't exactly prove me otherwise. If you have the research for it, sure. I mean, whatever. I'm going off of what I've seen personally. Anyways, so they either learned otherwise, they'd like to do the opposite of what their parents did, or they go ahead and do whatever. And then you have those people who date just to not be alone, which you feel even more alone than you did normally when you're in that kind of situation, because you do sorry, still a little sick. People do yearn for another. Even the introverts, the ones that stay at home, they still need somebody to talk to. It's in human nature. People go insane without it. That's why it's much smarter to make a pretend person when you're out in the wild alone. Like what the movies do. It's actually very smart to make an imaginary person to talk to. Or talking to yourself. That's what I do anyways. It might be a little weird. I understand that, but anyways, so it's been skewed so much, and now I have a new word for it, or way of describing it. And it's right here. It's a physical obligation, or a physical obligation contract, or POC. I want to call it poke and not POC, because poke is like how little kids, they're just like poke, 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 as a tease, like teasing, and teasing meaning you like them, kind of. It's a childish type of relationship is basically what it is. So, poke, physical obligation contract. And with that, and I say physical, by the way. The way I'm explaining, I'll break it down. It's only physical. It's like cuddling or kissing or hugging or, further on, and because the relationship is skewed and you don't wait. It's only physical. The mental is supposed to be where a real relationship goes. A lot of couples break up. At one point, there is a point where, anyway, like always, it gets to the point where someone wants to take it serious. And then that's when it starts to fall apart. Because they don't know how to do it, and so they stop. And then they go their separate ways. I mean, there might even be stupider reasons for breaking up before that. Before anyone tries to get serious. But at one point, if it goes on long enough, it will get to the point where someone wants to be serious and the other one doesn't. And that's where it typically ends. Even marriages do it like that. Like I said, if you go too fast and you don't realize that that's just affection and not a real relationship, it's just going to end up failing. So this poke, this physical obligation, is the only thing that comes out of it. You not feeling alone is only the physical. It's not the mental. You really can't go anywhere with that. It's dumb. It's dumb that no one seems to get that part of a relationship. Is like, oh, they look so cute together. I'm like, sure. Yeah, but you don't know what goes on in closed doors. They could be absolute crap together. And they only have their good times in public or something like that. There's a lot to go into that part, but I'm going to move on and get to the next part of this. And that is personality development. That happens through middle school, high school. I mean, it's always going on. You're always developing something, but your personality doesn't come in until after high school, really. It only shows and it comes out near high school, and it's like super and like it's like the beta. The beta is middle school, where you're only getting to know your interests, your likes, how you interact with people in the first place. Because elementary, you're just kids. You do whatever. There's almost no personality. There's always the core personality that never goes away, unless you're absolutely mental and you change that. That goes with some serious issues. Personality is a huge factor of personality is, in fact, issues. Issues develop into traits, and those traits become your personality. For instance, I became a worrywart because I always had the idea that someone didn't like me. I thought I was always annoying to someone, so I would keep asking them, am I annoying? Or is this okay? And that became a huge part of me. I kept bugging Will. I still kind of do. But he always tends, like, I didn't personally, like, I didn't understand them. So issues come, and if they stay there enough, like long enough, they become a trait, and that trait becomes a personality. Even through therapy, you can't really get rid of that easily. I don't know if you can get rid of it completely. I'm pretty sure it just stays there forever, but the issues that come with that personality fade. At least, maybe a little. I'm no professional, but that's how it seems to be. But it is a fact, pretty much a fact that that's how it starts. Is issues become a trait, become a part of your personality. Moving on, the personal development, middle school, beta, high school, you're it's like that's when you start like pre-ordering. If I had to keep going with this gaming term. And outside of that, it takes, I don't know, another decade to really call yourself a person. It varies between each person, obviously. But people don't understand that. So when someone in middle school or high school, they go, oh, they have so much personality. I'm like, do you even know what personality is or what it means? Do you understand what you're saying right now? You're telling them that they have a lot of personality. What's the personality? What's a lot of personality exactly mean? Other than them being forward. Is that what comes out? Is that your thought process? Is, oh, they're very loud and forward about what they want, and they take what's up here and actually say it, and they're not afraid to. Is that what counts as having a lot of personality? I don't understand. No, I understand that. That's kind of why I was just ranting. Anyways. No one truly understands that until after high school. It rarely happens during high school. If anything, most of the girls understand it because everyone knows that girls develop faster, and they actually stop growing around 16, body wise, and then mentally somewhere near 18, I believe. Guys, they stop at like 20, 25, somewhere like from 20 to 25. And which is ironic because a lot of the guys now are a lot smarter than the girls. And I don't mean smarter like intellect. I mean like socially. They're becoming a lot more mature than girls nowadays. And again, that's what I'm saying right now. Maybe it's just here in Colorado or just my age group. But that's what I'm seeing right now. So with all of that in mind, personal development comes after high school. Bottom line, it comes after high school. You don't truly understand it until then. Or you completely understand it and you are sitting there amongst a lot of morons. At least that's how I felt. When in middle school, high school, is I was way more mature than anyone there. In certain areas, I can't say all areas because I was still immature. I'm still immature in some areas, but majority wise, I could definitely say I'm more mature than most people. There are some adults out there that I have to encounter with my new job, by the way, that are just, they're so irritatingly stupid when it comes to everything. But I see a way more mature people, so I can't say most adults. Nowhere near. There's just that little handful of adults that never grew up or weren't raised the right way. There are a lot of bad parents. I said that. I think I said that in another thing, talking about how I was raised. Anyways, this is probably long enough. I'm gonna fuse the two videos. I'm gonna post it as soon as I'm done. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Especially share. I need to get my name out there so I can get more subscribers, more followers. I want to go somewhere with this channel. Okay. If you have a topic, if you're curious about something that you want me to talk about, hear my thoughts on it, maybe I'll use it. Comment down below, and yeah. I'm Psychic Silver, and I'll sense you in the next video. See ya.